Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Now recently, well actually for a long time now, I'm being asked all the time in the comment section of the channel, what is my favourite camera brand? Am I loyal to any particular brand, or is any one that I love using more than the other? And the simple answer to that is no. I use lots of different brands and I love them all for different reasons. I mean, it very much depends on what I'm going to be going out to do. If I'm just going out for a jolly, then I love to, well, which one do I take? I mean, I've got so many different cameras. I've got a really large choice. Now, for filming, I love using my Sonys because the autofocus, that's the only reason. I can completely rely on my Sonys for the autofocus to work. Now, I have quite poor eyesight, so autofocus for me is vital, and I work on my own. You have to remember that. I don't have a crew, I don't have camera people, sound people. Everything I do is what I do. So when you see all these cameras and all these different angles, I've set them up, but I do need autofocus for them. I'm actually filming these reviews on my Fujifilm XS20. That's getting the close-up shot. That's one of my favourite cameras. Video on that is beautiful and the autofocus is pretty reliable. I'm getting the wide shot on my Fuji XH2. Again, I've had issues with autofocus on that. It's been patchy, but I've got a feeling I've sorted that now. I've nailed it. I find that I have to set it to zone focus and use obviously face detect and eye detect on the Fuji XH2, and that seems to be working fine. That's over there. I've got my little ZV1, the original ZV1, getting a close-up shot of all these different cameras that I have here and lenses and odds and ends. Now the ZV1 is by far my favourite camera for getting the close-up shot. It's a beautiful little camera. I've got the ZV1 and I've got the ZV1 Mark II, which I also adore. Now the ZV1 Mark II has an 18mm lens, it's an 18 to 50mm lens, and various other advantages over the ZV1. USB-C port for power delivery and charging while I'm actually producing these videos. I don't have to worry about the battery running out. But I use the little ZV1 a great deal when I go out for taking photographs. I love the photographs that come off this little camera. So this is one of my major choices if I'm just going out and I want a camera to shove in my pocket. The ZV1 Mark II would definitely be the camera. And I would take the ZV1 Mark II over the original ZV1 for two really important reasons for me. Firstly, the 18mm lens as opposed to a 24mm lens, which at the wide end, which the ZV1 has. But more importantly than that, or equally as importantly, is its shutdown time. You can see I've just turned that on and it's on there, really good. But when you close the screen now, it shuts down straight away, where the original ZV1 took 2 or 3 seconds, sometimes 4 seconds to shut down. That was really frustrating when you're out and about and you want to put it straight back in your pocket and you have to wait 3 or 4 seconds. Don't sound a lot, but it is when you're out and about, I can assure you. So the ZV1 Mark II is definitely my favourite pocketable point and shoot camera, but one that will produce really, really great results. I've already said Sony is probably my favourite brand for using in the studio here because of the autofocus, but I also love the little Sony A7C, the original A7C. Not only is the autofocus great, it's a really nice little travel camera, again, for going out taking decent photographs. So I'll use this if I know I want to take better photographs than what the ZV1 Mark II can take. Certainly in low light, the full frame sensor, 24 megapixel full frame sensor in the Sony A7C. Now this is the original A7C, not the A7C Mark II. So this is now at an incredible price for a full frame body. And if you're buying it used, certainly from a reputable dealer, and here in the UK I would class Wex Photographic, Clifton Cameras and MPB as reputable dealers, you get you know, between a 6 and 12 month warranty on it. So it is a great little camera. 3-inch articulating screen, 4K video. It's only 8-bit 4K video, but still completely fine for YouTube content. And I've got on it this little 28mm pancake lens from Viltrox for the autofocus. It's a fixed aperture of f4.5, but takes great images. It's really actually a nifty little travel kit, that. The grip is fine. Not great with larger lenses because my knuckles rub up against the lens on the original A7C. But I love taking this camera out. It's nice and lightweight. It takes the FZ100 battery, so you get really good battery life. Yeah, really good battery life on that. In fact, it's excellent battery life on the FZ100. So the Sony, again, fantastic little camera. And it looks quite nice as well. But my favourite travel camera, which I've had now probably 2 months, 2 or 3 months, goes everywhere with me when I do go out, is the Fuji X-T50. Oh, I adore this little camera, really do. I think it's really sexy. I mean, it's a really nice looking camera, but that's not why I take it. It has got the 40 megapixel sensor, which is great. Certainly if you want to crop the images. I've got some images here that we took at the circus, obviously what I've taken in the garden. Just clarity is gorgeous on the X-T50. My computer's handling the 40 megapixel file sizes completely fine. I will leave these images up on my Flickr page. I'll leave a link to my Flickr page in the description of this video. But yeah, really, really fantastic sensor in this camera. Colours that it produces are absolutely gorgeous. Sharpness, everything about the Fuji is absolutely stunning. And even the autofocus is pretty damn decent on video. 4K video in this camera, really, really nice. But one of my favourite features that the X-T50 has, and hence the reason why I use it when I'm going out taking photographs, on the top here, you've got a little switch here, so you can switch that to full auto. And that is great for me because I don't want, as I said earlier, I don't want to be mucking around with setting aperture, shutter speed, ISOs and all that sort of thing. I can switch it to auto and job's done. And the other thing that I really like about this camera, it hasn't got the articulating screen. It's got the tilty-wilty screen. And when I'm out taking photographs, I so much prefer the tilty-wilty screen as opposed to the articulating screen. The articulating screen is brilliant for if you're doing vlogging or you're doing content creation, video content creation. Obviously you can see yourself and I think it's great for that. But if I'm just taking photographs, the tilty-wilty screen is so much better. I find it more discreet. I don't feel as though people are watching me taking photographs with that. And as I say, the results are lovely, but look at the design of it. So beautifully designed, as all Fuji cameras tend to be, so well designed. I'm quite a big fan of Fuji. As I say, I'm filming the close-up shot and the wide shot with 2 Fuji cameras. I love using them and I love using this camera. So yeah, the X-T50 gets my vote as probably my favourite travel camera, and combined with the Sigma lenses, because I've got the Sigma 10 to 18 lens fitted to the X-T50 today. I've got my 18 to 50 lens on my XH2, so that's a great lens. So between those 2 lenses, you're covering, you know, well, from ultra wide short to short telephoto, sort of portrait, and it's a constant f2.8 aperture with these lenses. So that's a great combination with this camera, and nice and lightweight. There's no in-lens image stabilization in either of these lenses, but then this camera body has 5-axis in-body image stabilization. So yeah, the Fuji X-T50 is a great travel camera. But saying that, I also go out with me quite often. I take 2 cameras. I take the X-T50 and I take my ZV-E10 Mark II or my A7C. It depends on what mood I'm in on the day. I take me little ZV-E10 Mark II, and I love the handling of this. A much better grip than what the original ZV-E10 has. It takes the FZ100 battery, which is the same as the A7C. So yeah, great little camera. And with its kit lens, now I've said in another video, people criticise kit lenses for some reason, and for some reason they're right to. But I find the Mark II version of the Sony kit lens, which is what this is, works great. It's a power zoom lens, which is ideal with a ZV-E10 and the ZV-E10 Mark II, because it has got that zoom toggle switch on the actual top here. so I can use that to actually zoom in and out, and I think that is really, really awesome. And I've said before in another video about this camera, I can use this camera single-handedly. So when I'm out taking photographs, put the camera in automatic, I can just go out taking photographs, use the rocker switch to adjust the zoom. I've got the shutter release there. Everything's to one hand. Exposure compensation I've set up around on this dial around the back here. And I can adjust my aperture or shutter speed with this command dial. So, you know, a very, very travel friendly camera, and so lightweight. Yeah, so this, and quite often I take this with the A7C. So I've got the same batteries, the same mount, so I can use swap lenses around if I want to do that. If I'm using full frame lenses, I can put my full frame lenses from the A7C on my ZV-E10. And then I've got that crop factor, so you can actually get a tighter shot. So, for example, this 28mm lens on the A7C would be a 42mm lens on the ZV-E10 Mark II. So, very great combination, these two cameras, if I'm going out. But I say quite often I take me Fuji X-T50 as well. So, yeah, I'm not loyal to any particular brand. I'll use what I enjoy using, and I'll use what gets the job done. So, you know, there isn't one brand that fits all. So I used to get annoyed when people used to say, oh, you're a Sony fan or you're a Canon fan. I even like the little Canon R100. I use this quite a bit. It's a really, really nice little compact travel camera. Again, for me, it's a point and shoot camera. Again, I've got a full frame lens. On that, it's a 28mm full frame lens, so that's 42mm in real terms on this particular sensor. But the 24 megapixel sensor is great on the Canon R100, and it's really cheap. This has to be the cheapest entry-level mirrorless camera with a viewfinder as well on the market. Even cheaper than the original Sony ZV-E10, cheaper than the Nikon Z30. It's so cheap to get into, you know, your mirrorless system and still produce great results. And I'll leave sample images, again, a link to sample images on my Flickr page. I'll put the link in the description of this video. So the Canon R100 is a great entry-level camera. If you either want a second body or you don't want to spend a great deal of money, get the Canon R100. You won't be disappointed. But yeah, the Z50, XT50, sorry, not the Z50, the XT50 is a lovely camera to use, and probably at the moment my favourite travel camera. I just love its looks, and that kind of encourages me to want to pick it up. I don't know why, it's dumb, isn't it, really? But the 40 megapixel sensor is great. So yeah, I haven't got a favourite brand, and I haven't got a favourite camera. The cameras I use will depend on what I'm going out and about doing. I also will depend on what lenses I have. If I know I'm going to be filming inside churches or cathedrals, I'd definitely take the XT50 because of the 10-18 lens on it, and because of its 40 megapixel sensor. So when you are getting close-ups of the architecture, you get real nice crispiness because of the sensor that's in the camera. But if I'm just doing general shots, I'd be quite happy with my little ZV-1 Mark II. Although I wouldn't want to use this indoors necessarily because of its 1-inch sensor. But outdoors, the 1-inch sensor produces really nice images with this little ZV-1 Mark II. And the fact that I can just shove it in my pocket, literally can shove it in my pocket, that's a real big Brucey bonus for me. So yeah, there we go. No particular favourite, I love them all. And to be honest, any camera that you buy, as long as you learn how to use it properly, you're going to get great results with. So there we go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Hit the like button if you like the content of this video. Would really appreciate that. And share it if you think other people might find this content useful. There we go. Thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.